Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time to talk about the newest champion coming into MCoC, none other than the High Evolutionary. He's obviously going to be a very rough defender, but today we're going to talk about his offensive use, letting you know if you've pulled him or what have you, how you use him, what he's all about, get you out on your way, having a lot of fun with a pretty powerful champion. So we're going to look at a series of fights. So first, you're going to be with him on Awakened, then at Sig 1, then Sig 200, okay? Does he need to be Awakened? No, he does not need to be Awakened. Does he get better at Sig 1? Yes. Does he get better at Sig 200? Yes, much better defender, an even better defender, more potent, going to really punish people when they make mistakes. And then he also is the new Prestige King. I never, ever, ever recommend going for Prestige or chasing it, but I do know it's part of the game, so to not mention it might be leading you down the wrong path, or at least I feel like I should. So this series of fights, as usual, is created to show you what he can do, and we're looking at a couple different things right away. Is his basic attacks have a chance to land those exhaustions. You can see we're up to 6. You can see also the SB1 can burst for like close to 150,000 damage. This is at rank 4, but we're fighting rank 4 defenders. So to me, it makes a lot of sense. So you can get an idea of like how powerful are they. If they're rank 3, they would not look nearly as good. If you are only ranking rank 3s, you're probably not facing a lot of rank 4s, okay? Now we're going to look at this fight against Rintra. One of the really powerful things about the High Evolutionary, and I showed it in the last fight too, is every time he well-timed blocks, he's going to put that wither. Now it's a severe wither, meaning it can't be purified or like that by your typical skilled champions, right? Additionally, it is a 10%. There is a maximum of 10, is a stack limit of 10. So we can get up to 100%, just completely, basically getting out of the ability power rate. That's the non-combat power rate. Think about like America Chavez, who we will show later in this video. And then his combos have a chance of giving those exhaustions. The amount of debuffs he gets up does matter. And a lot of that is when you're going to throw your SP2, you're going to get up this evolutionary field. The field does a lot of things. A lot of it has defensive power. One of the reasons why he's going to be so big and so bad. But the big thing is why High Evolutionary is inside the field. All attacks deal a burst of 34% of the damage dealt as direct damage. So that's not energy, that's not physical, that's nothing like that. That is just direct damage. You can see the additional numbers coming off because we are in that field. Additionally, when you're in the field, it is going to decrease 75% slower while either champion is in there. I'm going to show you a fight later where we kind of just stay in there and you see that SB1 again. And what's happening on that SB1 is it is exploding the combo detonation. That's another part of him. It's his defensive kit, but it's also obviously used on offense as well. I'll explain that a little bit more in the next fight. There's a lot to this guy, and so to try to explain it all in one fight would be a big mistake in my opinion, or an exceptionally long fight. Additionally, one of the reasons against Rintra is he's immune to the buffs that a defender would try to put on him, the champion tried to put on him. He's also rupture immune. We're now going to show him at Sig 1 here against the Sasquatch. He's a phenomenal matchup for Sasquatch. Again, he puts on those exhaustions. So you're going to see that when Sasquatch has those exhaustions, he's going to get none of his stacks of that Rage of Tanarak. So we don't have to worry about that natural like protection basically he starts to develop. The other thing that's going to happen here is there's multiple bullet points, but quite a few of them are defensive. But on the 3rd and 4th is the potency of the burst of damage granted by the evolutionary field. Remember, there's that extra burst of damage when the field is up and you're doing those hits. Well, it's going to increase. This is just Sig 1. And then the other bullet point, when inflicting a dissolve debuff, that's when, again, in the field, you're going to get a chance to get an indefinite 1.6 aspect evolution passive. Again, a little bit defensive leaning, but that is going to be very helpful to us. I did test moving the defender in and out of the field multiple times. I found it better. Just keep the defender in there. You keep that field up longer, right? Remember we talked about how it decreases the how it decreases how quickly it goes away. I found it just better to keep them in there than instead of trying to stack a bunch of those on themselves. So we're going up against this Sasquatch. Again, we've got the exhaustion. So he has 0 of his rage or his Wrath of Tanarak or whatever it's called. So we're just doing our normal damage here. Every well-timed block has a wither effect. In PvP, that's going to be really helpful against these mystics because often they are spec'd into Mystic Dispersion. He's also landing a lot of debuffs, so you can see we're not taking much damage into the block or anything like that. We've gotten our combos up. Once we get to 50, remember, once we get to 50 of our charges, and then the defender crosses a bar of power, we put that combo detonation in the upper right-hand corner. If you can throw your SP1 and the combo detonation expires. It kind of looks to me like a bone. It says 15 on it right now. If you can get that to expire while you're throwing your special one, it actually re-inflicts itself. And you can get in this really nice loop, as you kind of just saw, where you keep that up, you keep the field up, you're throwing your special ones, you're getting the combo detonation to expire, and you're getting a lot of explosions of damage. It's all these big, like 120, 134 explosions of damage you're seeing. The Wither has some very practical purposes. Not only does it, mitigate the ability power rate of the defenders or of a node, but also some champions who are troublesome, pesky defenders like America Chavez. It actually removes one of her dimensions, allowing you to actually push her to her special 2, and it will not be unblockable because she doesn't already have a dimension up. I'm going to show it to you right here so you can see it, but you can see we've got the combo detonation charges, which if they just detonate on their own will do damage, but it does significantly more if we can throw it with our SB1. So we're doing this here. We're trying to keep her in the field so we can keep it going longer. And also I want to throw the SB1, and right here, this is good. And the SB1 is really slow for this reason. You can see it should detonate before I'm done. It did a lot of power or a lot of damage, and then it came right back. Because we've kept her in the field, we are able to keep going. If she had had more health, we could have thrown our special one again, which does explode the combat detonation, okay? It will detonate it for you, and you can use that to like end a fight, but when the defender still has significantly more health, you can purposely throw it so that the detonation detonates while you're throwing the SB1, and then it will come back. If you detonate it mainly with your SB1, the final hit, it won't come back, right? Okay, so essentially, and here we go. Here's this fight. This is 9.1. I like to show this fight. I feel like it's a good flow test because you have to interrupt to get these protection stacks off. Of course, old man Logan here would normally be healing, but we've got our high evolutionary at 6200. And so that is going to cancel out healing based on all those debuffs we have from us. So that's why you're not seeing any green stacks, whatever. And we're just going to kind of talk about the high evolutionary here. As we watch the fight, what you'll see is I'm able to keep old man Logan in the field for a very long time. I think we get a series of 3 of these SB1s off, all doing significant levels of damage. Remember, this old man Logan had about 750,000 health. My thoughts on high evolutionary. Remember, we'll go over all this in the general tier list. We update it every single month, but of course I'll cover him in the maker in this month's edition with being the new champions. But my initial thoughts on him are he's definitely going to be a potent defender. The node on the Valiant Gauntlet made him much easier to fight. It was a bit of a gift from Kabam, I guess, or maybe made us feel a little too comfortable than we should. I think he's going to be significantly more difficult. I did the how to defeat him video. I will link that actually right now, and then I will link that in the description because you're going to want to know how to fight this guy, and you're going to want those hard counters. I think he's going to be a very good defender, particularly in battlegrounds, right, or in war, or any sort of node set where they can increase his combat power. Because you saw what happens when he gets that SB2. He's going to put you in the field. I didn't even go over the defensive kit in this video. All the things I talked about were just purely the offensive side of things. There's a whole very powerful defensive kit. It's going to cause a lot of problems. And if you want to really make him as powerful defender as possible, you're going to take him to Sig 200. It's also going to put that prestige in. If you just pull him and you don't really care about battlegrounds or anything like that, if you're looking for a champion that's immune to Rupture, that's immune to the debuffs the champs are putting on, that has a very easily accessible Wither, keep in mind though, it's only 10%. So I think this is a champion that you're probably going to want to use because you either just think he's really cool, you think the burst off the SB1 is really powerful, which it is, or you want to use him in battlegrounds because I think his damage will be good enough that he's going to be titled a defensive leaning, or he's going to be a defender that does have a few offensive uses, particularly against the defenders I showed you, being Rintra, America Chavez, the Swamp Man, I can't think of it, it's a Man Thing or something like that, right? Or any champion of that nature. He also doesn't get the buff from Spidey Supreme, so you're probably going to be able to use him there. And I think he's going to be pretty effective, but he definitely is more defensive leaning as far as battlegrounds is concerned. As usual, let me know what you think got right. Let me know what you think got wrong. I hope this was really helpful to getting you out there started on your playing of High Evolutionary. If you've recently pulled him, congratulations. I do think you have a very, very good champion. Without having talked to the Illuminati about it for the tier list, I think that we're looking at a solid third tier champion. They can definitely do things, and if you like them, they're going to help you clear content. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.